All right, we're going to talk about Bernini and this incredible grandiose tiered urn self-watering planter. As you're looking at it there in the garden, what first comes to mind is the fact that it is this incredible water feature. As you see the water sort of trickling and babbling from one level to the next. But it's also a self-watering planter, as we show you from that illustration inside. So it is the best of both in terms of lovely decoration, but it's also really smart in terms of watering your plant. It looks like stone, and it is truly substantial and wonderfully made. We have a clearance sale price, meaning down to the last of the remaining inventory. And because of that, you get a terrific savings. As a matter of fact, we've taken about $135 off of the regular QVC price. This planter at its regular price is $399.98. It is now $265. We've got Easy Pay, which works out to $66.25. And you're simply letting us know which color you'd like. So we have it in the white stone. That's what I have here in front of me. And it does, doesn't it? It truly does look like beautiful stone. And then we also have it for you in the black granite, which we'll show you there. So with that said, we're going to say hello to our guest, Jack Yeiser, who's here to tell us a little more about Bernini and this incredible water feature that also is a smart idea for watering the plants. Hi, Jack, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me on. And yes, you kind of touched on it briefly in that intro, but this is just a fantastic way to get a very beautiful planter that does a little bit more than your average planter. With this self-watering feature, what we find is that the water fills up in here, just under the planter, and what it does is it actually waters your plants from the bottom. And we know that this is actually the best way you can water your plants. It keeps them happy and healthy. They love that groundwater effect. Now, what's most interesting is when your fountain, which is on a timer, shuts off on its own, it actually creates an air gap. And what that air gap does is it allows the soil to retain some of the air so it doesn't get overly soaked and rot. And that actually keeps your plants even healthier than just ground watering them in general. It's a fantastic way to keep your plants happy and healthy.
So, Jack, tell everybody, if you would, a little bit about Bernini, and then I'd love to talk about how this arrives, because not only are we getting the planter, there's a rechargeable battery. We're looking there at what happens, how it is able to water the plant. But this truly is an absolutely stunning looking water feature. And that's something that Bernini is known for as well, creating these beautiful water decorations for our home and garden.
Exactly, Leah. We actually really enjoy bringing people these rechargeable water features because I think the best part about these is that you can take them anywhere in your house. This can be anywhere from your front door, back porch. I mean, if you have room for it, you could put it in your kitchen if you'd like. And, I just want to kneel down real quick and make sure we get a good listen to this. Because it's just so peaceful. It's just so wonderful to have this trickling water. It's so calming, to have that just wherever you are in your house.
It is. It's true. Yeah, I mean, it's the reason, when you sort of, a sense of calm comes over you. Why, when you go to places like spas, they almost always have some sort of water feature like this one. It stands about a little over 25 inches tall. And so when I get it at home, is there anything people need to know about how it will arrive and what they'll need to do?
Yeah, so one thing that would maybe be important for people to know is that the urn and the planter, the fountain and the planter actually do come separately. So in some ways you can have them apart if you'd like to have just a fountain. And this is where we can even see the fantastic self-watering mechanism right here. And so these can all of a sudden become separate, and all of a sudden you have either a wonderful fountain or a wonderful planter. And what you can do then, if you'd like to have them both back together, is just easily slide them back together, make sure they're in place.
Wow.
Watch for a little splash, but you know what? It's really easy to put back together. So simple.
It looks beautiful. And you know, I'm thinking too, Jack, just watching you there, and frankly, the black granite that you were just working with, I mean, it looks like stone. And I'm thinking about all of those people who would love to be able to have, you know, the landscape design and all of that architecture and all of, you know, the reason those gardens look the way they do is not is frankly because there's a premium that comes with adding those things to your garden.
You know, exactly, Leah. And it's so wonderful to have this wonderful finish on this urn because it does give that stone effect. And the best part about that is you don't have to be able to carry some large, heavy, or to plumb some large, heavy stone piece. It's not hand carved. This is actually a fantastic polycarbonate material, so it's really lightweight. So just about anybody can carry these around and place them wherever they want. They're cordless, so they don't even need to be in contact with any outlets, which again gives them the freedom to go wherever they want. The battery, in fact, is amazing. On its 1 to 4 hour timer, it can last up to a month and a half of runtime without needing to be recharged. But once you do need that recharge, again, it'll go another month and a half.
It's beautiful. And the fact that we're down to the last of the inventory that we will have is the reason for the clearance sale price, which is about $135 off of the regular QVC price. You know, tomorrow's February 1st, and it's interesting here in the Westchester area, there was a big snowstorm over the weekend. And then today, on the final day of January, the sun is shining and it's melting the snow, and you're sort of, it makes you aware of the fact that spring is on the horizon. And we're looking forward to creating our spaces, both indoor and outdoors, at home, that will love, that will create that tranquility, because you hear the water just kind of babbling there, that you see the beautiful greenery, that you're not having to worry about watering because your decorative feature also happens to be how you water the plant. And I don't know if we can show, because the animation really does kind of explain how, yeah, it's a great looking water feature that is also a self-watering planter all in one.
Exactly, and it really does give you all the best from the planter to the water feature. It's, you know, it's interesting. One of these spouts is actually fairly high above where it drops into, and that creates a, you know, a very calming ambiance. And here it is, exactly that animation that you're talking about. As the water enters the bowl, it wicks up into the roots, and then the roots get a wonderful drink of water. But then as it drains as well, it creates that air gap that we were talking about, which prevents your soil and sod from rotting. And also, the moving water prevents any stagnant water from collecting mosquitoes or anything nasty like that.
Yeah, that's a great point. I will tell you, and again, it's made of a sturdy resin, but the resin makes it much lighter than you can imagine if it were a stone, but you get that stone-like look. So here's what's happening. This is extremely limited. If you want the white stone, there are fewer than 100 to go around. If you want the black granite, 5 dozen to go around. That's been more popular. And many of you, we know, you shop garden stores and you shop catalogs. To be able to get this kind of water feature for $265, and we have easy pay. Today is certainly the day to shop while we still have remaining inventory. So M71441. Jack, thank you so much. It was great to have you in the show.
Oh, thank you very much, Leah. Have a great day.
You too. So the show